So I was 5 years old, and I remember being outside playing with Canelito. It's the last thing my dad brought me before he came here to the United States. I remember being outside playing with my brother. My brother was 2 at that time. I remember him being annoying. He was crying, screaming, taking my toys. He was getting on my last nerves. I remember that day my mom getting a phone call. That was my dad. At that time I haven't seen my dad in 2 years. So I was really excited to hear that my dad was calling. I turned around and my mom was crying. She was crying. But it wasn't the sad tears. It was the happy tears. And she looked at me and said, "You're finally gonna see your dad." I got up and I looked at my brother and I'm like, "We're finally gonna see our dad." At this point I haven't seen my dad in 2 years. So I got up, I got ready and everything. My grandma was home, my whole family was home. They told me to take care, to have fun, and to take care of my brother. At that point, I didn't understand why I had to take care of my brother, if my mom was gonna come with me. But I didn't care. I was just ready to go see my dad, ready to hug him, tell him that I loved him. So I got all my stuff ready, and my grandma blessed me. She did all her Mexican stuff and everything. She put a necklace around me. She told me, "Take care, I love you." And I'm like, yeah, let me just go. Like, I'll see you soon. And then this man came in and he was like, "It's time to go. We don't have time." So we went, and I remember just driving off. Everyone was crying and everything. So we drove off, and next we stopped at this house, and then told my mom to get off. And my mom told me, "Just take care of your brother. I'll see you soon." I was worried because I was just 5. I didn't know how to change a diaper. I didn't know how to make a bottle. I didn't know how to do nothing. At this point, I still don't know how to do it. And I was kind of worried because I didn't know how to do nothing. So I had to take care of this 2-year-old. I didn't know if I was ever going to see my mom again. I didn't know if my mom was going to give me away or nothing. I was just there taking care of my brother. So I took care of my brother for 2 or 3 days. Well, at least it felt like 2 or 3 days. I finally saw my mom again. I was happy to see my mom. We went and dropped off my brother, and my mom told me again, "I love you. Take care. I'll see you soon." And the man took me. Finally, I crossed the border, and I crossed good and everything. I was safe and everything. I remember the guy getting a phone call saying that my mom and my brother got caught and that they were locked up. I was crying. I thought I was ever gonna see my mom or my brother. We had to go back, and because I was my mom's daughter, I also got locked up. I remember the cops were treating us like criminals. They were saying that we had to go back to Mexico and everything. I was kind of sad because I thought I wasn't gonna see my dad ever again. My dad paid the people so they can get us out. So they went and got us. And again, we went back to this lady. She fed us. She took care of us and everything. The next day, it was like around 12. He told us, "We're gonna try and cross again, but we're gonna try and cross the river this time." So I was kind of nervous because I was just 5. I didn't know how to swim. I didn't know nothing. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go see my dad and just whatever. So we got ready and everything. I remember being cold, and I put my jacket on. My brother had a lot of sweaters on and everything. My mom told me she loved me and everything. I had my little doll. That's the doll that my grandma gave me, and the little necklace. I remember the guy told me, "Just jump." I remember the water being cold. I remember me holding my brother. I was afraid my brother was gonna slip and drown. So I was just doing my own thing. I remember the guy helping me carry my brother. Finally, we crossed the river and everything. There was this, on the other side, well, in the U.S., this couple was waiting for us, and they finally took us to my aunt and uncle who were waiting for us. So we drove off. We drove up to Austin. We went to my dad's job. It was like around 3 in the morning. My dad used to be a bartender at this club. And we went, and my dad was waiting for us outside. I remember my dad started crying. I remember my mom was all like, "There's your dad. Go hug him." So I just got out of the car. I hugged my dad. and I told him I love you and thank you. I remember my dad hugging me and telling me, Andre, I love you, thank you. And he told my mom, thank you for bringing my kids to me. I appreciate it. Thank you for being strong and leaving your family. And now I realize that I thank my parents for giving me a good education, for putting me in a better place. And even though I was 5 and I didn't have to take that big responsibility, I will do it again just to see my dad again. Thank you.